Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our pre-match press conference ahead of tomorrow's game against Jamshedpur FC. With me is head coach Des Buckingham along with Greg Stewart. Close open, you can ask your questions. You can use that one. That's working.
Hello, coach. Despite your winning streak, Jamshedpur managed to have a draw last time. So, do you think it will be thought to beat them in their home ground?
I think the last time we played them, they took a point away from our home and took two more off of us. And I said the same as I said afterwards. They're a good team. They've got a very good coach in AD. We've watched their games, especially recently, with the one last week. I heard AD again speak about how well Jamshedpur played last week in terms of the amount of opportunities they created on the goal and just weren't able to convert. So it's not for me that they're playing poorly, it's just they haven't been taking maybe opportunities. So we're aware of that. We're expecting another tough challenge, the same way we did and we had against them in the last game when we were at home. But we're a very different team to what we were when we played them then. I'd like to think we've been able to showcase our type of football more often. But I'd say so are they. So it's going to be a very different game than what it was. And it's one that we're ready for and one we're very much looking forward to.
For Greg, the question is, last time Jamshedpur faced against Mumbai. So the defenders of Jamshedpur really managed to stop you from scoring last game that we had. So do you think it's because the former players of your defenders specifically doesn't know your game or have an upper hand in that case? Maybe so.
I don't think so. No. It was just the type of game it was. We were still trying to find ourselves in the way we wanted to play. And in that game, I felt like they did well. They held us to not creating so many chances. And from our point of view, we were obviously disappointed in the way we played and the outcome of the match. But when you train with guys, like it is what it is, really. But in general, you don't really think like that. It was just one of those games. But credit to Jamshedpur. I'll just reiterate what Des has said. I think the league standings is a bit false, and I've watched them a couple of times. So yeah, it's going to be another difficult game tomorrow night.
Another is how would you come back to Jamshedpur, seeing all these stadiums?
Yeah, it was nice to see. It was nice to see the stadium and the facilities here. The pitch looks very good from what I could see. It could be one of the best in the league. So yeah, we're looking forward to the match. We're going to be well prepared, and as I say, we're looking forward to it.
Coach, we've had an 8-day gap after the last game leading into this one. How have you utilized that gap, and what sort of preparations have gone under you in these last 8 days?
The same as they have done for every game that we've played in the previous 15. We know that every game will pose its own challenges. We've got different ways that we can approach games now. We've spent the last 8 days firstly recovering and resting the players from the previous game because we had 2 games in 4 days. So it's nice to have that time between, because if you can do that, not only do you get more time to recover, you get more time to plan and prepare for games. And I think when the fans come to the stadium, they see players performing at a higher level because of that. But it's been about rest, recover and preparing as well as we can to put ourselves in the best position to face what will be a very strong Jamshedpur team.
Which we recently confirmed the arrival of Jamshedpur, 18-year-old from Rajasthan United. Does that just add on to what you've been mentioning about young players playing for Mumbai City and you helping them develop?
Yeah, I've made no secret of it. I think we're a club that want to develop the best Indian players, let alone young players, and to secure the services of Nikhil, who was one that really interested me from the moment we played against Rajasthan in the Durand Cup. He actually scored against us, so he stood out. And there was a lot more players that, again, we're looking now not just to build for this season, but to try and build beyond. And again, young players get the opportunity if they're good enough and they work hard. And when I look at our team that finished the game last week, for the final 20 minutes of the game, we had 2 foreign players on the pitch, and our front line consisted of Gurkrat Singh at left back, there we We finished the game at the final 20 minutes with only 2 foreigners on the pitch, and our front three was an all-Indian front three, but there were a young front three as well in Gurkharat, sitting at left side. We had Ayush making his debut down the middle as a 9, he's a young 18-year-old, and Vikram on the right-hand side. So it doesn't matter what age they are, it's about if they're good enough, they will have the opportunity to play here, but it's also about making sure that we build this club for the future as well.
Any more questions? Perfect.
So coach, you coming here in Jamshedpur, being you also been to other facilities. So how do you look, this kind of facilities being developed all over the country for Indian football? Not just facilities keeps coming up, and for the betterment of Indian football as a whole.
Yeah, we haven't trained yet, so we'll see the facilities when we get to the training ground shortly. But the pleasing thing is you want players to be able to train and play on the best facilities available, whether that's training pitches, gyms and all the other things that now come about, not just as part of senior football, but for young players, and I say young as 5 all the way through. You want them to have the best available to them. And when you come here, I've only been to the stadium so far, and as Greg's already mentioned, the pitch, when you walk into it, it feels like a real football stadium. And I say that with respect of coming from England and some of the time I've spent in Australia as well. It's a big stadium, and I know when it's full, the atmosphere that will create, and the pitch itself, we've just had a walk on it, and it's a fantastic surface. So all of those things hopefully help put on a very good game of football. But in terms of development, the more of these facilities that are made accessible, not just to us, but to the community and other places, hopefully that really helps drive their development as well.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you, Coach. Thank you, Greg.
Thank you.